share it. So, and you can do the same thing. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to our LinkedIn Live, which is organized by Circle of Legends. So today I am your host, and today our speaker is Rajiv sir. He's a business consultant and he's a mentor who have a enriched experience of 20 plus years. He has been mentoring a lot of companies and individuals as the executive leaders, etc., in Asia, in Africa, and a lot of countries. So basically, he has a pretty good international exposure, and let's welcome our speaker, guys.
Hi, Rishabh.
Hello sir, welcome to Circle of Legends and Instagram LinkedIn live show, where we'll discuss about how to leverage the potential, how basically they should teenagers and youngsters should enlist their potential, because there are a lot of things are happening right now during the pandemic, and people are not able to identify where they should explore the opportunities and what they should do basically. And today I would like to keep this session interactive, guys. So if you have any doubts, any comments, you can do let us know, and from where you are joining you can type your location, your name, or whatever you want to ask. So let's keep it interactive along with sir. So yeah, sir, can you just I have already introduced you. So we just wanted to know from your side that about yourself. Just can you give your introduction?
Okay, great. First of all, thanks, Rishabh. It's great to be here on this amazing show. I think the name says it all, Circle of Legends, and all of you who are connected here, all of you who are sort of listening in, tuned in, are all legends. And everyone is a legend in the making. And I think that's the best part about what this community is all about. Uh, just a quick background about myself. As you said, I've actually had various avatars in my journey, right from
Exactly.
being a salesman to an executive to a CEO of a retail company to a global leader with managing operations of an insurance company to setting up my own entrepreneurship venture in between, worked across various countries. Uh, and now in the current avatar, I'm trying to bring out the best of whatever I've learned by supporting young individuals, coaching leaders, and helping new businesses to gain momentum into the new age of what they wish to do. So my purpose today, as I always say, is I'm here now to say I help you to be you. So it's all about helping you understand who you are, helping you build your capabilities and skills, and helping you unleash your potential, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your professional life, or whether it's your business enterprise. So I'm so happy to be here to talk to all you young people, and whatever I can help and contribute with, more than happy to do that.
Yeah, exactly, sir. That's what we want. Basically, we want to make sure that we follow our passion, because a lot of people are right now they are lacking. They basically they chase money, but they don't understand where their passion lies. So I think that is the very best part. And you're a inspiration to a lot of us, because you have a lot of exposure. You can guide the youngsters and as well as the executive professionals, that they how basically you can train them, how to be at their peak, how to approach their career in such a way that they are the best in that field. So yeah, starting with our discussion. So I would like to know, like, how would you, how, what kind of things people, how they should encounter this current situation, how they can unleash their potential.
Okay, I think there are two very important parts that you bring out in this question of yours. I think first one is about really trying to deal with the current situation that all of us are in. I think we must first of all acknowledge that we are in an unprecedented situation. We must acknowledge the fact that what we are faced with and what we are currently going through with is a situation which also has a silver lining, by the way. And I think that's the only way to look at it. There is uh, a lot of challenge in all situations that we face, whether it's a student who is not really aware about what's going to happen to my next session, or whether the first job seeker who doesn't know what's going to happen to my interview when I pass out, or somebody who has either been furloughed or has lost a job, or some people who had their businesses closing down. So these are really difficult times. And I think
Exactly.
uh, first part, which is important for all of us to recognize, is that we must accept where we are. By acceptance, it basically helps us reconcile with the fact that whatever we have to do to overcome that. Because if we continue to be in denial, we will not be able to deal with the situation that we have to deal with. So I think
On
that's
point.
that's the first part, which I think is very very important for all of us to accept. The second part that is very critical is to recognize that through all these hardships, through all these troubled times, all of us in our own individual ways have definitely gained something. We all have
Absolutely.
been able to do something differently from what we would have done it in any other way. Now,
Exactly.
that's a sign of resilience. That's a sign of our ability to rise up to the occasion, right? And that's something which we as human beings have it within us. Do we really realize that we have it? Only when we are pushed to the corner, we really deliver to that extent, right? And there's a very old saying, right? When the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? So here is an opportunity. All of us around, each and every individual around here is a tough being. So first of all, acknowledge it. Second is pat yourself on your back that you are there for the reason why you are there, and
Absolutely.
look forward to what you have been able to do differently, what you have gained out of it, and how do you want to progress forward.
Yes.
Each one will have their own destination. Each one will have their own journey. Each one will have their own dreams. What success means to me is very different what success means to you or to anybody who's listening today, right? So find your own passion, find your own why, define that why as your own purpose. And once you reconcile with that, uh, nothing can come your way. I think that's the most important part. So discovering that energy within yourself is the first step towards moving forward. So if you do
Yes.
that, you probably are moving in the right direction. And then you sort of
Exactly.
figure out the various steps that one needs to
Yes.
take towards that.
Even I think that, during this COVID, we have got a lot of opportunities specifically to improvise ourselves. Like what we like we tend to analyze ourselves during this whole pandemic. People can understand because lockdown was there. People were not able to move out. So basically, now we have a lot of time to improvise ourselves, and how later on how we can decide what to choose, what to not. So I think awareness brings it at very best. Once you have awareness, you can definitely choose what not you have, basically what you have to pursue or not. So yeah, that is all, I think, which is very important: building awareness and having a self improvisation. So coming to the point, as you said about why. So how a person should identify their why part.
Uh, that's a very interesting question, right? And if I was to sort of try and simplify this, and I think the best way to look at things is to be simplistic about it. Uh, One way that I look at a why is that it should not deliver a revenue objective to yourself. It should not have a materialistic outcome attached to it. To just give you an example, I was talking
Beautiful.
to a person who was setting up a business, and we were trying to discover that why are you doing this activity. Now, the immediate response that one comes to my mind is that I want to do this to get a turnover of X crores, and jump it to another level. We went one level deeper and we asked, but why do you want to do that? Why do you want to make that money? That person started thinking, right? And we finally came to a very fundamental conclusion about it, saying that he wanted to do that business because he believed that there was a gap between what was being fulfilled and he wanted to fulfill that gap, which means the why was to serve a portion of the community who was not being served. And that
Hmm.
why, by the way, was very different from revenue. Now, if you take that in a personal situation, if an individual was supposed to really discover the why or the passion that one has, I think all of us have gifts and talents. All of us have our own cravings of what we want to be. When we were all small little kids, we used to dream. Somebody would dream and
Yeah.
say, I want to be a fighter pilot. Somebody would dream and
I
say, I want
wanted
to
to
go
be
to
a
the moon,
footballer, and
right?
now here
I,
I am.
I want to be doing something else, right?
Yeah.
Now, somewhere deep within, there's a passion which holds us back, right? And our social structure, our abilities to sort of build uh, all that we want to do, sometimes start straitjacketing ourselves.
Hmm.
Now, straitjacketing is great, right? And I'm in no way advocating the fact saying that what we've been told is wrong or what education system is wrong, but we definitely become constrained by virtue of certain stereotypical models that we start looking around. In the process, we start building a lot of masks around ourselves, where I start becoming an engineering student, I start becoming an engineer, I start becoming a chartered accountant, I start becoming a doctor, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
But what do I really want to be? Who am I? And I do this exercise with people when I look at this. I say, and this is a group activity I normally do, and it's a very interesting exercise. I'll just
We would
share that
love
with
to
you
know.
in a minute. What I do in a group is I just call upon a group of people and I just tell them, guys, you need to now introduce yourself to each other. But there are two conditions. One, you will not use your qualification, you will not use your company name, you will not use your designation.
That's awesome.
And and you have to introduce to each other. Now, by the way, it sounds easy, but try and frame a sentence without really describing who you are, without having to talk about your qualification, your your experience, your company name, but you still have to talk about yourself. By the way, now that's
We
the
can talk
person who
about
you are.
the achievements and hobbies, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the person who you are. And when you introduce yourself to that person, somewhere within there, you'll try and uncover your passion. You'll try and uncover who you really want to be. And through
Absolutely.
that purpose, and what I basically understand is that most of you are youngsters who are the future of this country, right? So the passion that each one of you has so much within you that you need to make sure that you need to have a great job, you need to have a great career, but at the same time, deep within you, you must also have the fire to achieve what your heart wants you to do, right? And that
Indeed.
could be that could be something like some people are great at hiking, right? So
Hmm.
hiking teaches you certain qualities to become a great leader, by the way. So if you're a great
Yeah.
hiker and those qualities you apply into your leadership skills, you're definitely going to be a better human being and a much better leader. But if you let go of that ability and just focus on one thing, what will
Hmm.
happen to you? You will start compromising on one or the other.
Yeah.
Now, that's where it's important to try and build. The second part is about the value systems that you hold close to yourself. Now, the value systems come from a family, from a background, from your education,
Absolutely.
and that's something very strongly embedded in our Indian society. Respecting parents, respecting elders, being close to what you really want. We talk about guru shishya relationships, right? Now, those are very strong value systems. How do you build those value systems to become a better human being and allow those human skills to translate into your journey of life? So it's it's about a combination of these things
Indeed.
which allows you to uncover who you are, why you want to do what you wish to do, and then identify what are your skills, what are your abilities that you need to build on to then start building down that step by step towards success. So that's basically as simplistic as I could sort of make it for now. This could be actually an independent session altogether, just to sort of do a focused activity around that. I'm trying to be as compressed as possible for shortest shortage of
Yeah,
time.
actually, you told us a very good activity. Even once I am in the group, I would love to do that. specifically, like, you can't introduce yourself with the help of your designation and stuff. That conversation will be interesting, because then people will be like where they exactly lie, because some people are completely into their corporates and they don't get time to practice their hobbies, and they are lost in their corporate world only. They don't know exactly what to do, and they are stressed out. So I've seen those kind of a people. So yeah, exactly, that activity is like pretty amazing. Definitely I would love to have. But yeah, so my next point to you is like, basically, suppose I was able to identify my passion, that was not my engineering, because I was pursuing engineering, and my passion is not inclined towards engineering, but I was able to identify it, right? But how would you suggest to anyone who is already involved in some courses or some kind of a degree or job, and how they should basically switch their career? Because leveraging that particular potential can be only done by eliminating the current things and switching to their passion, basically. So we talk about why, but how we can make it happen if a person is already involved in some XYZ work.
Okay, I think again I'll take a simplistic route, because you're asking a very interesting question, which again needs slightly more detailed deep dive. But I'll just try to take a very simple, practical example to look at things. Whenever we
Definitely.
do various activities in life, various things that we do, if you try and distinguish the way we react or perform any activity, there are two very fundamental filters that we normally follow within our own practice. There are certain things that I want to do, and there are certain things that I have to do. Now, be very careful with what I currently use. I've used two different words: what I want to do and what I have to do, right? What you want to do, you will never ever ignore. What you have to do is something that you do because you just have to do it.
Yeah.
So think for yourself in your own typical day, in your typical activities, how much of your activities are in the have to do category and how much of them are in the want to do category, and
Yeah.
what do you really want to do. Now, because every individual is unique, every individual has unique gifts and talents. There is no straight, simple formula for this. So it's important to go through this journey yourself, discover what are your wants and haves, identify those buckets, build your skill sets around it, and then build your capabilities, which allows you to go to your dream. This is a journey. This is not an on and off switch of a light button. So you
Yes.
have to discover, rediscover, you have to fail, you have to succeed. And if you don't fail, by the way, you will never succeed. So don't be
Absolutely.
afraid of failure. That's
Yeah.
something which is the most important thing. In fact, the more you
Failure
fail,
is a
the more
one
chances
step
you have to
ahead
succeed.
to
By the way.
success.
So if you don't fail, let me tell you, people who have not failed, and I say that very often, people who succeed without failure are actually flukes, by the way. I call that success as equivalent of being a fluke. I know it's a very harsh word to use, but that's the reality. Success without failure is equal to fluke, nothing other than that.
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. Even that's what I feel, because after every failure you will learn something new. You will learn and you will adapt something new which you don't know. So basically, learn a failure is a part of your life, where you don't have to see as a failure. You have to see that you have learned something practically. You have improvised yourself in such a way that you have learned it practically, and now you are more aware. Your awareness become more strong when you fail, when you tend to fail. And failure is the one step ahead, like it is a one step towards your success. That's how I like to define the failure.
No, no, you're absolutely right. And by the way, again, I'm very fond of simple examples in life, by the way, right? And all of us have grown through this. And all of you kids, all of you who are listening in, and everybody who sort of chimed in here, all understand this so beautifully. Have you ever thought of anybody who has started to walk without crawling and without falling down before walking?
Exactly. Exactly, it
So,
is
so,
impossible.
so you can't. It is impossible. So
Yeah.
why is it that there it is okay to
Mhm.
fall and to stand and then walk and run, but when
Yeah.
you fail in life, you suddenly start looking at it and think, oh, this person has failed. Why? So so
Yeah.
just there is no difference. See, your life itself teaches you everything. You just need to pay attention to it. You just need to be more aware about it. and
Exactly.
it's there right in front of your eyes. Just pick it up and just make it work for you. That's the beauty of life. We only make it complicated, by the way. Life is not complicated otherwise.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So we need to see how we can make how we can define any if suppose if you have any complex problem, how we can break down in such a way that it becomes more simpler, and then you can pick and choose one. So basically, you are dividing your problems.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, on this part, I just wanted to also highlight another very important thing. In fact, I was reading this the other day. The World Economic Forum has done a study and it's identified the top 10 skills that are needed for 2025. Right now, if you really look at that skill from a point of view of 2025, there are four blocks of skills that they're talking about.
Yeah,
First is problem solving. Around problem solving, what are the areas that people need to be focused on? Self management, which is self development and awareness, are the second block of areas that they focus on. Working with people, because human relationships is what's going to define how people are going to work and succeed in life. And
yeah,
last but not the least is the role in technology and its development. So any individual who is working towards the future, who is working towards building the blocks towards success going forward, there are defined areas of skills around creativity, resilience, around ability to be able to do self-control, all those which need to be in focus for individuals. Ideation, ability to innovate, ability to think creatively are all areas which are important. Problem solving, complex problem solving. When you come to individual management styles, individual person to person handling, leadership skills, ability to be resilient enough, dealing with adversity, are all elements which are important in life situations and in other. So, on the skill side of it, while you find your why, while you find what you need to do, you need to identify your skills, align them with what are the requirements and needs over the 2025 horizon,
one
and
point.
start working on them. And if you start working on them, everything is doable.
Yes, exactly. And even leadership is somewhere you need to have that control. If you're being an entrepreneur, if you want to be a top executive CEO or founder of any company, then you need to focus on the leadership, then how you can influence or how you can do the team building stuff. And I guess sports is the best way to teach to learn all these things, because I've learned, because I play football, so I've learned a lot of leadership and to how to control the team and stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty good learning when it comes to leadership and team building stuff. So this is my personal experience. But anyway, let's take the audience question, because I guess we have few questions on
Let's do
here
that.
in live. Yeah. So this is our first question. Do you,
Do you think?
so let me read this. Do you think parents are focusing on schooling and not on the knowledge and education, which in terms create an aura, forcing young minds to less focus on their hobbies?
Okay, now that's a trick
That's a
question,
pretty
right?
interesting question, Chetan.
So that I call it a trick question, right? Because I'm a parent also, and I completely understand where this question may be coming from, right? But I think I'll start with the fact thing that no parent would want to decide for anything which is not good for the child. I think that's the first premise with which one needs to look at. It's the sheer lack of complete awareness and understanding of what probably are the possibilities that sometimes lead people to misunderstand what is being told to them on either side, whether it's the parent side or it is the student side. Now, coming to this specific question here, I think the element of the education system itself is what is challenging. Uh,
Yeah.
we start with a very open, creative mind, but by the time we start progressing in our education, we start getting tunnel vision, right? Because of the focus that we start drawing into and what are the various areas we need to look at. And in that journey, we start missing out on the elements of passion and why we're doing what we're doing. That's true even when we're studying it, right? Now, I might want to be becoming an engineer. I may want to become a doctor. I may want to become a liberal arts student. I may want to become a journalist. I may want to become anything for that matter, right? Now, it doesn't stop me from being who I am. And you just mentioned that very correctly. While you're playing football, football might be a game, but football teaches you some very fundamental capabilities that
Exactly.
probably no management school can teach you, right? So it's about the right balance as to how you pick what is needed out of each activity. As
Hmm.
long as you're focused on your purpose, as long as you're focused on your why, whatever you will do, you'll gain and soak. See, what I would encourage students to do is to be a sponge, absorb what is given to you always. Look for nuggets and wisdom that is all around you. Capture that. Make use of what is available to you. And the time for you to be able to grow and evolve is right unfolding in front of you. To say that my parents did not allow me or my schooling did not allow me is an externalizing the problems mindset. Take ownership of yourself. Take ownership of what you want to be or become. And once you decide that, you will start choosing what has to happen around you in a much more better manner. And to say that today's kids don't know it or how do they do that is fine. But I think so. Today's generation is also very blessed. This generation has got tremendous access to information. When they want to use it, they use that information. When they choose to not to use it, they choose the example of saying, I'm not aware about it. So it's a difficult situation, right? So as long as you define your purpose, as long as you define what you want to do, I think everything is possible. But yes, the education system needs a bit more open-ended scenario, and I think some things are changing there. Liberal arts is becoming important. A lot of career options are opening up. So take ownership of your own life is all I would say first. If you do that
Yeah.
and be a sponge, I think everything will change.
Yeah, like keep experimenting with your field. Like you can define that, this is the like 2 months, 3 months, and then you can define that particular passion for 3 months and you practice it and see how you can what are the things you have learned from that particular field. So it will help you, it will bring more awareness. It will help you to teach about how you are using technology or leveraging, as you said, like even as you agreed to my point, football teaches us a lot of things. I hope same college and other prestigious college and everyone agree the same thing, and they bring this kind of a curriculum where they tell that every day or every alternative day we should play some game so that we build this kind of a skill, which is very very important, right?
Yeah, I think it's happening today. Many colleges, many institutions are actually focusing on a well-rounded personality. And
Yeah,
knowingly or unknowingly, there are a lot of things that are being evolved through these conversations or these
that's why
discussions
they
that are
focus
happening
on
in colleges.
volunteering experience as well.
It is happening. So, like for
Mhm.
example, look at your own forum. All you students, all you young people are doing what probably is something coming your way because of the type of exposure and experience you're getting here. So that's a living
Exactly.
example of life skills that otherwise cannot come your way. So it's absolutely fabulous.
Exactly. Yes, it's actually it's way more better than interning with any XYZ company, because here we get a lot of exposure. We get to network. Like I got an opportunity to network with you and having an individual call with you and getting to know about a lot of stuff about you. So this is how we network with each other. This is how we leverage the platform, circle of them, because
Absolutely.
it gives us an opportunity to connect with the mentors and to talk about them, or we can do brainstorming, because we have this kind of freedom at the Circle of Legends, that we can brainstorm and we can talk to Darshan Patel, who is the founder of the operation, this thing, Circle of Legends. So here we communicate with Sir, and we bring up with new initiative. So yeah, this is all about thing. And one last question which I would like to ask. So as a
Please.
mentor, since you are a mentor and you are a business consultant, so how a mentor can help them to identify their passion? Because if somebody is deeply into their corporate and they don't know exactly how to get back to find their passion, because sometimes they are too involved and they can't help themselves. So I think mentor plays a vital role. So what is your take on that?
I think there's something which is very important here. The power of question, the power of ability to ask the right question. I have learned over my experience in life and experience across various situations is that the solution to the problem lies in the problem statement itself. So, ability to be able to understand the problem statement, define what exactly is the problem you wish to solve, is where your journey of problem solution starts from. So I think that's the first cardinal principle. The second part about mentoring and coaching, while they're two very distinct methods of encouraging people to be able to grow, evolve, and develop, It finally starts with asking the right questions and encouraging people to think about areas and things that they've not thought about, and encouraging them to be able to arrive at solutions and
Hmm.
co-create the path for what is right for them. And that's
Yes.
how success finally unfolds.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, this is the like let's conclude this session because right now we have this 30 minutes deadline. So I would love to have you TCL will love to have you next time as well. And I hope the audience got to know a lot of things about how to leverage their potential or how to discover their why and find their purpose. So thank you so much, sir, for having for being us and guiding the audience about this topic.
Pleasure is mine, and wish you all a wonderful, wonderful year ahead. And I promise you that your best is yet to come for each one of you. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.